Stress makes you fat, even if you're in a calorie deficit. I know that sounds insane, but if you've been eating clean, working out, and still gaining fat, especially around your waist, there's a good chance stress is to blame. And it's not just some vague idea, we're talking hard science. Hormones, metabolisms, cravings, your body's entire system can shift into fat storage mode. So let's break it down, show you exactly what's happening and how to reverse it without crash diets or burnout workouts. When your body feels threatened, whether from work deadline, sleep deprivation, or emotional stress, it activates a survival system called the HPA axis. That's your hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and adrenal glands working together to release a hormone you've definitely heard of, cortisol. Cortisol isn't bad, it helps you survive danger. But when it stays elevated for too long, like it does with chronic stress, it starts hijacking your systems that were never meant to be on 24/7. It raises your blood sugar, ramps up insulin, and shuts down processes like digestion, reproduction, and fat burning. Because none of those matter if your brain thinks you're running from a tiger. The problem is, you're not running from a tiger. You're sitting in traffic, arguing over a text, or sleeping 5 hours a night. Your body responds to that chronic tension the way it would to life or death danger. When cortisol is elevated for too long, it changes how your body stores fat, especially around your midsection. That's because fat cells around your organs, called visceral fat, have more cortisol receptors than other parts of your body. So when cortisol is high, your body literally gets better at storing fat around your waist. But that's just the beginning. Cortisol also raises your blood sugar because it thinks you need fast energy to survive. Then insulin kicks in to clear that sugar out of your bloodstream. But over time, constant spikes like that can lead to insulin resistance, where your body stops responding normally. And to make things worse, cortisol also messes with your appetite signals. You start craving salty, fatty, and sugary foods, not because you're weak, but because your brain is trying to keep you alive. This is why people under chronic stress often gain fat, even if they're eating healthy most of the time, because stress shifts your metabolism from fat burning mode into fat storing mode. Cortisol doesn't just affect fat storage. It also rewires your daily habits in ways that quietly sabotage your progress. First, sleep. When cortisol is high, melatonin production drops. That means trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up feeling wired but tired. And just one bad night of sleep throws off your hunger hormones. Ghrelin goes up, you feel hungrier, and leptin goes down, you feel less full. That combo leads to more snacking, especially at night, and more emotional eating the next day. Second, motivation and movement drop. Stress dulls dopamine. So even if you know a workout would help, you don't feel like doing anything. Over time, that lack of movement creates a feedback loop. You feel worse, so you move less, which makes you feel even worse. And third, decision fatigue. When your brain is overwhelmed, it starts shortcutting. You reach for what's easy. Comfort food, skipping a workout, doom scrolling instead of winding down. These aren't character flaws. They're stress responses baked into your biology. Chronic stress doesn't just change your habits and hormones, it actually creates low-grade inflammation, the kind that quietly interferes with fat loss, energy, and recovery. Cortisol was designed to reduce inflammation short-term, but when it's elevated 24/7, your immune system starts to malfunction. It gets confused. That systemic inflammation makes fat cells more resistant to change, especially visceral fat. And here's where it gets worse. Stress also wrecks your gut health. It changes your microbiome, makes your gut lining more permeable, and increases inflammation even more. So now your digestion is off, your nutrient absorption drops, and your body is stuck in a survival loop, trying to protect you, but making fat loss feel impossible. So how do you break this cycle? The goal isn't to eliminate stress. It's to make your body feel safe again. Because when your nervous system feels safe, your metabolism works again. Here's what actually works, backed by research, and simple enough to start today. Sleep first. Nothing downregulates cortisol better than quality sleep. You need 7 to 9 hours, period. This one change will fix more than any supplement ever could. Train smart, not just hard. High intensity workouts raise cortisol. That's fine short term, but if you're already stressed, doing more HIIT can backfire. Prioritize strength training, walking, and low intensity cardio. Regulate your nervous system. You can't just think your way out of stress. You have to signal safety through your body. Box breathing, cold exposure, sunlight in the morning, these aren't just hacks. They're physiological resets. Eat for blood sugar control. Protein and fiber blunt cortisol spikes. So ditch the naked carbs and pair your meals intentionally. And stack the right supplements. You don't need a drawer full of pills, but a few options are actually legit. Ashwagandha lowers cortisol. Magnesium calms the nervous system. Omega-3s reduce inflammation. None of these are magic, but stacked together, they tell your body you're not in danger anymore. And that's when fat loss becomes possible again. If you've been stuck in a fat loss plateau, even though you're eating clean and training hard, you're not broken. Your body isn't failing you, it's protecting you. But if you want to let go of fat, you have to stop sending it signals that it's in danger. When you fix stress, everything gets easier. Fat loss, sleep, energy, motivation. This helped you connect the dots. Do me a favor, share it, save it, or send it to someone who needs it. Because until we treat stress like the root problem it is, we're just spinning our wheels.